All right, guys, lesson 34. Good on ya. You're doing fantastic. All right, we're going to get stuck straight into it again as we usually do, and we're going to look at G major scale this time with two hands, and we're going to be doing contrary motion. All right, so now as you know, contrary motion is just going the opposite direction. Now with C major, that's fairly easy. It's actually C major contrary motion is easier than C major hands going the same direction. All right, G major contrary motion is pretty easy too, but there is a slight difference. Now because G major has that F sharp in there, you're going to be playing a black note when your other hand's playing the white note. Now we're still going to use the same fingering. So 1, 2, 3 at the same time. So it's not too bad. Some of the other ones get a little bit more complicated when you're playing lots of black notes when you're playing white notes and vice versa. But also the fingering can get different as well. So that's when it gets harder. But for now, G major contrary motion. I want to practice it 1 octave first, then try and do the 2 octaves. Still going to do that same 3 and then 4. Think about making sure the fingers go straight down and not bending backwards the other way or having flat fingers too. One of the other things you can think of too is that you need to use gravity a little bit, right? Gravity is a constant force. It's always going down, right? So if you have your hands a little bit above the keys and you let the hand fall, that's using that constant of gravity. The other thing that you can do is when you're a little bit above the keys, I don't know if you can kind of see it there, it's not great, you can use a bit of momentum. If you're right on the keys and you press down, you're not using any momentum. It's kind of like trying to, if you were to punch someone and you started here, right? You might still be able to hurt them to some degree, but not as much as if you're doing that. Don't try that out with your brother or your sister. All right, have fun with that G major contrary motion. All right, we're looking at time signatures in this particular lesson. All right, now time signatures are always at the front of the piece of music to start with, and sometimes they get in the middle of a song too because the time signature can change. It doesn't always stay the same way. Now up to now we've only had a few. We've had 4/4. I think you can remember that we've had 4/4. Now that means there's 4 quarter notes to a bar or 4 crotchets to a bar. So 4 one-beat notes to a bar. All right. You know, I actually like the American way of thinking about the length of notes in this because 4/4 is great to think of it as 4 quarter notes, not 4 crotchets, right? So it sort of tells you what it is. Okay, the top part. Let me see if I can get my mouse there. Yeah, I can get my mouse. Let's get the presenter laser pointer. That's even better, isn't it? All right, the top part there tells us how many. The bottom part tells us what type of notes we're going to have off. Okay, so if we go to the next one, 5/4. So this is 5 quarter notes, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not that many songs are written in 5/4. There's a very famous one. This song. Might have heard of that one before, and that one is called Take 5. The reason why it's called Take 5 is because it's got a 5 in it in the time signature. That's why it's actually called Take 5. All right, so a bit of a play on words there. 7/8. This means that there's 7 eighth notes or 7 quavers, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and is how we normally count quavers, because we're counting 1, 2. There's the beats, and if we wanted to count quavers, it's like half a beat, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. In this case, we would actually be counting the quavers as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Now you can't say 7. If you say 7, you end up actually having 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. Like that's 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. Now if it's a 7/8, it's probably pretty quick. You're probably not going to play too many songs in that particular time signature, but I'm just kind of showing you how it works. Now this one here, interesting looking one here, right? It's a C with a line going down it. All right, this one's called cut common, and because the C actually stands for common time. Now, common time is what's the most common time? Well, the most common time is 4/4. So when you see a C, that actually means common time. All right, so hopefully that helps you there. I'm not expecting you to remember the cut common time, 7, 8, 5, 8, what they all mean. It's really just I wanted to introduce you to time signatures a little bit more. So far we've done 4/4 songs, and we've done a couple of songs in 6/8. You might remember that from the end of the last book. All right, but today we're going to be doing a song which is called Time for a Change. Time for a Change. Why did I call it Time for a Change? Well, because I decided to write a song in 3/4. It's about time. Now, it's also in the key of G. You might be able to see here's our F sharp here. So that's telling you that you're in the key of G, and we've got 3/4. Now there's this first little bar here that only has one beat in it. Now 3/4 means 3 quarter notes to a bar, or 3 beats to a bar, right? This one only has 1 beat. Now we call the small beat an anacrusis. Sometimes we call it an upbeat, but it's basically a bar that starts at the beginning that isn't a full bar. Now, usually what happens, now it doesn't always do this, it did many, many years ago, always did this, as music history would tell us, but now we haven't really worried too much about it these days in modern music. But you'll notice here in the last bar, I've only got 2 beats. All right, it's almost like this 1 beat plus these 2 beats here, that makes up my 3. All the rest of the bars have 3 beats in it, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's get into it. This is what it sounds like, and actually I might go back to the other screen. Just play it and then we'll talk through it. So I'm going to count in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then I'm going to play when I'm thinking the 3rd beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, there you go. It's kind of in a style, almost a little bit like a Baroque piece of music, which is quite an older style, the Bach kind of style. Now, we're starting on the D there. Now, it does go up. What's that next note? Remember the lines are Ege, B, de, F, or every good boy deserves fruit, Ege, B, de, F. So it's B, Ege, B, right? Now, it's a B. Now, you could hit that with your pinky, but then you're in trouble, finger-wise, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to hit that with your 3rd finger, okay? Now, the big gap, you can see here, the big gap, you know, you can do the splits with these individual fingers and it's not too great. But this one here, between your 1st finger and your 2nd finger, there's a big gap. So that's the good place to use that gap when you need it, right? That thumb is such a helpful finger when it comes to playing the piano. And it puts us in this G position. All right, you put that 3rd finger there. See how that works? I'm going to come over with my 2nd finger there. Okay, got my G, thumb, G, 2nd finger on that F sharp. Keep the thumb there. Now here, you could either go, put 3rd finger on that F sharp. So you stay in that hand position, 3rd finger on that F sharp, if you wanted to do that. Or you could just change your hand position, put your pinky on the A, and just run down. 2 different ways to do it, okay? So here's the beginning. Now the left hand is just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Chose the 3rd finger over the top. The next bit starts the same way. Okay, so 2nd finger there is really important. And then we're going to go, and our left hand's going to spread out there. Now you want to do that hand separately. Have a go at that. So here's the left hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. C, D, octave, D, G. The other hand. First finger on the E. Stay in that hand position. All right, hopefully that helps you. There's time for a change. Have a practice of that. Sight reading, just a little bit today. All right, sight reading. Have a go. All right, here's what it should have sounded like. Sort of, you've got, right hand, left hand going on. All right, there it is. And a little bit of aural work today, all right? So what I want you to do is, so I'm gonna play a couple of notes. Look away and see if you can then play them. The first note's gonna be C, and then I'm gonna be going down, okay? This time I'm not going up, okay? But look away for a second. Actually, I'm gonna make sure you look away. There you go. First note, C. And the notes that it could be C, B, A, or G. I'll do that again for you. All right, try and play it. Okay, that was C, C, B. Here's the next one. All right, that was C, B, A, G. One more. And that was C, B, A, C. All right, guys, all the best. I will see you again real soon for the next lesson. All right, bye.